you were saying about how maybe there's a timeline that could be coming soon for some type of launch. I don't know how much we can talk about it, but if there's any details we can give, what are they?
Yeah, we're just gonna put out, I think, like our first piece of content that is like, this is what we are doing. Like, this is the context, this is the product, this is where you can sign up for it. Which I know we've kind of been we've had like a couple of like little breadcrumbs here and there, but to have like a source of truth, like this is who we are, this is what we're doing, document. We're ready for that now. So yeah, stay tuned for when we post that.
So I think last time when we talked, I was kind of in my mind, a fashion stylist AI tool would be more geared towards women, I guess. And but you were saying you were trying to build it for everybody to help out everybody. Is it still that way? Have you said you're data driven? Have you tested like how the reception has been of people that have
Absolutely.
tried it?
Yeah. So the high level goal is like, we are building the future of human self expression. Every person shows up as a certain version of themselves physically in the world. It's the nature of being a human. And that is not exclusive to being a woman, that's exclusive to being a human. And so our goal is ultimately to be able to be this like centralized hub for everything fashion related, everything self-expression related, and everyone can find themselves on that platform. And I think that is very aligned with the product that we're trying to build regardless, because every person has so many facets to their identity, no matter who you are. And so if we are this holistic app that can really support anyone and everyone and anyone, we can also support all of those little like niche components to your identity that you haven't been able to find in one place before, because every marketplace right now for fashion is very curated based on like a distinct style.
And you're really unique because of your connection between the fashion world and the tech world. I imagine that gives you a big advantage in trying to achieve something like what you want to do. Have you seen any competitors pop up in the past year that are real challengers for you, or are you still kind of in a lane of your own right now?
Yeah, I think being in a lane of your own is actually like a that would be a concern to me. I think when I think about competitors, I think like this is clearly a huge opportunity space, and so there are going to be a lot of people who are looking to build within it. And if you are in a lane of your own, either the opportunity space is not so big, or it's something that is like just not feasible to actually like build, like it's way ahead of its time, or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of other attempts. I think early stage companies, like I'm just fully focused on building what we are building. Realistically, everyone is going to iterate so fast. I know we were so different when we started. So we're just gonna like find our way on our own, and like we all kind of keep an eye on the ecosystem and everything like that. But yeah, I think that's the answer to your question.
And I'm curious if, like, I think you're going to start with, being the hub, being your website, and if you put out an app or whatever. But do you ever think you'll be integrated to say, like, where, like, a Macy's or whatever, any like clothing store could have like your tech integrated with their website, where you could give suggestions and fashion tips and styling outside of your ecosystem?
Maybe for now we're just focused on D2C, but there has been definitely like interest from the industry to do stuff like that, but not the focus.
Yeah, I guess the focus on building at home first, then you can venture out. That makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering, like, well, I guess you raised funds. I don't know if you had to do that multiple times or not, but how has that gone for you? Were people excited? I know the AI space is the talk of the town for the business and stock market. So I'm sure there's a lot of people eager to invest in that space. Was it easy to speak to VCs, and were they excited about it, or did you find difficulty in convincing them of the idea?
it was we closed our round within 3 weeks, and it was definitely like oversubscribed. There are still people who have asked me to kind of like get in on it. I'm like, we've been closed, you know? So I would say that, yeah, that was definitely a very competitive uh, round. But I think it's interesting when you wonder like, why is that the case? Because while AI is really hot right now, it's not like every AI company is getting funding thrown at it. I think in the early stage, it's really just like conviction in the individual person, and I'm like very privileged in the sense that I live in New York City and I have the ability to go to events like the one that I met you at And there were people in my ecosystem that already had conviction in me as a person. And then when I just even started saying that I'm thinking about opening a round, started, wanting to get in on it because they already knew me from before. I don't know if that would be the case if I was like in the middle of nowhere, that like, I wasn't able to have all these like serendipitous moments. So yeah, it was definitely a competitive round for us, but I recognize that I'm like super privileged to be surrounded by the people that ended up participating.
I like how you didn't want to name anywhere. I'll say it. Probably in Kansas somewhere. You probably wouldn't have had the opportunity.